sir. Yeah. I'll get her again.
Regarding Wine Library TV.
Yeah.
And thank you, Economy.
Yeah.
She made the recent change. Wine Library TV is going to be
Daily Grape.
one.
Yep.
And now you went to Daily Grape.
Yes.
For the last 3 years, I'm sure a lot of people here have purchased some wines through Wine Library. And
Yes.
I have.
Yes.
And talking about the push and pull
Yep.
of what's going on and how you talk about it. Thank you, Economy. With Library TV, now that it exists, but it doesn't. Previously, when you sit there and you watched you and you presented, it was the pull that you were getting from what you were saying and talking, and people were just learning about what you were saying. And then you had the ability, I like that wine. Let me see if I want to buy it. Click online, go buy it. And I know you made the statement previously, I guess at one point, that you didn't carry more than 5 or 10 cases of anything.
Correct.
But I've been purchasing wine for 3 years on Wine Library. I get everything I ask for. Sometimes I need it, I called in and I got it. Mm-hmm. Now since that revenue stream is kind of not there, and now I get it through, I guess, the push from either Cinderella or emails. Well, like, what is your idea of thought? You must have had an idea of where that's...
Nothing's done by accident.
Right.
So, I view that the intent of Wine Library TV was truly never, ever to sell more wine. We were doing a lot of business before I started Wine Library TV. The intent was, could I change the culture of wine in America? Because that's a big goal. I don't like little things. Selling a couple extra $1 million worth of wine was just not interesting for me at that point in my career, and still isn't, right? It's less interesting, right? It was, can I change the culture of wine in this society? Like, what happens when you make it fun and interesting, and what would it have led to? Would I end up doing a TV show that would have extended it and brought it to a broader audience? It was never the intent to sell more wine, which is why I always did less cases, because I never wanted a conflict of interest. Daily Grape will have a wine buying mechanism as well. But I'm not so sold that I'm going to do that exclusively through Wine Library. One of the things I'm looking to do is create unbelievable prices from the winery that the wines are.
You shout out of Facebook where you went right to Wine Searcher and we'll be able to see.
Absolutely. Recently I sent out a wine that I thought was very good, and the link wasn't to Wine Library, it was to a wine searching engine that showed you all the prices. More importantly, as we roll out Android and BlackBerry and other things, as more people get smartphones, here's what I really want from Daily Grape. I want you to be able to watch it on your computer or on your phone, whatever makes you comfortable, add the product to your wish list, and walk around with it in your pocket. More importantly, there's technology in place long term, and I'm not going to promise it tomorrow, that literally wines will sit on your wish list, and if you have the app, it will push notify you that you just walked by a wine bar, a restaurant, or a store that actually have the wine that you want. This is about what I always talk about in Thank You Economy. Be bigger than your own business. Yes, Wine Library may not get that sale, but I'm a bigger service to you with that kind of technology than I am by just selling you wine from my own store. And the bigger you become, I believe that... I almost call this book guilt marketing. That if you do so much good stuff, people just start getting guilted into it. Literally, if you had the Daily Grape app and you walk by a store, in Montclair or New York City or in San Francisco, that you'd buy a bottle, but you'd buy the case from Wine Library because you would be thanking me for putting it in place. And so, this is a big thought. This isn't just, I'm looking for another, revenue stream. It's about how can I become... it's funny, this is how it started, why I switched to Daily Grape, one of the biggest reasons. One, I wanted to do mobile because it was insane. I'm even slow to it. Two, I just sat on it for 2 years. Two, I kept asking startups, what problem are you solving? When I was thinking about investing in some of them. What problem are you solving, right? And finally one day I was like, wait a minute, I don't want to be a hypocrite. What problem am I solving with Wine Library TV? Entertainment is a problem you're solving. Entertainment's valuable. But now with mobile, I can be so much more valuable. People are scared to order wine. They don't remember what to order. It's a pain in the butt to write things down. Now to have it on them at all times, it means something. And it's been instantaneously. I got an email this weekend from a young kid who's like, I got to hook up with a chick because of Daily Grape. He's like, I ordered a badass, Riesling. You said it was sweet, and the ladies would love it in your episode. And I ordered it. He didn't have the waiter didn't have the exact kind, but it was the same. And He goes, and the rest of the night was awesome. So we're solving problems out there. So that was why. And there'll be a lot of other things, and I'm really trying to understand. And, it's 10 episodes in, right? I'm going to continue, you've been reading the comments, I'm sure. It's collectively gotten better. First I was the devil, now I'm already back to being good. Mott's on today's episode, everybody's feeling better. But we're on our way. I really believe in what I'm doing. And if it doesn't work, I'll go back. I'm never scared of anything. I'm never scared. You do what's right. But if you don't try new things, if I didn't want to innovate, you would have never gotten Wine Library TV in the first place. Yes, sir.
I'm so tempted to ask your mom a question because I've been watching all her expressions as you're talking. But I have two questions.
She's a real genius, so if you want to know.
2 questions about Wine Library in Daily Grape now. How hard was it for you to do that show after the Jets defeat, where you just sat there and made, which I think was like,
oh, you mean the only time in my life I sat still and didn't talk for 5 minutes?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
because it's exactly what I expected that you were going to do.
So for some of you that don't know, when I'm a ridiculously big Jets fan, I went to Pittsburgh. The Jets lost, obviously, didn't make the Super Bowl. The next day on the show, I had a bottle of bourbon next to me instead of wine, and sat there and didn't say a word for a good 5 or 6 minutes. The best line was from my father-in-law, who emailed me and said, I've known you for 7 years now. It is the only time I saw you not talk for 5 minutes straight. So, it was fun. I remember pitching it to AJ. We were talking on the way back or something about it. He's like, you got to do that. I'd watch that. I haven't watched in 500 episodes. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. So it was fun. It was fun.
The other part of the question is about workflow. How do you go about producing a daily webcast like this? I mean, aside when you're not answering tweets and tweeting people.
It's one of the other bigger reasons I switched to Daily Grape. I thought the show had lost something over the last year when I was taping 5 episodes in one shot. And I really hated it. I actually hated it. I got to a point where I decided 6 months ago to stop. That 1,000 would be it, and that would be it. And as it got closer, I was like, wait a minute, I just love wine. I mean, I love social, I love business, I love everything, but I love wine still, and as long as I still love it, there will be a day where I probably have to stop. It's going to happen. But right now, I don't feel like I have to. And there's other challenges and mobile and all these other things. And I thought the biggest thing I said was, but the problem with the show right now is it's stale. If tomorrow night Lady Gaga gets drunk on Bordeaux and it's front page news, I got to do a show the next day on that Bordeaux, right? And I wasn't in that position anymore.
Right.
The way I'm able to do it is, you have great people around you, right? My assistant, Phil, is amazing. He makes sure a lot of things. John Troutman, who worked with me on Sport, something that I phased out, I brought in full time. He's making sure that, this last week, I show up in a hotel in San Francisco and there's wine there, or somebody's picking me up. I'm really not in control of my own life anymore, which is sad, but, but I'm being put in the best position. You have to start being honest with yourself. Back to your business question, I think the number one thing every person in this room has to do from a business standpoint is not lie to themselves. When you stop lying to yourself, you start having an at-bat. You start having a real shot. Too many people think they can do everything. They think they can do it. They think they can read something, they can do it. You know who you are. You may not like things. There's plenty of things I don't like. I hate that I think I can do everything. Jeez, if I could just focus on one thing, the damage that I could do. But I can't. I need to do a couple things because that's just how I roll. But when you stop lying to yourself, and I did that with Daily Grape. I said, I need another person, and I need them. And I told John, and at first, and I'm like a pretty good guy, and I try to make everything good. I was starting to hedge. I was like, no, I'm going to ruin it. I go, John, here's the bottom line. If you don't have the wine there, and you don't have the person there, if you don't have somebody picking me up, taking me somewhere, and it's not in my schedule, and if you don't work close with Phil and have it all organized, there won't be an episode. Because I'm going to get busy, and I'm going to be dead tired, so it needs to be easy. I walk in my hotel room, there's 2 bottles of wine on the table, ready to go, marked up, the info. And so I just got very real with myself and said, how am I going to produce this show? Here's how. Tomorrow I have a meeting in Midtown. John's going to come with the flip cam, 2 wines, to the restaurant right next door. We're going to pop in, we're going to bang it out, we're going to be on our merry way. I got very practical. This book is very practical to win in social. Practical and execute. Everybody has ideas. Ideas are crap. Execution's the game. I thought of everything too. And so did you, and you thought of my stuff, and I thought of your stuff. You know how many times I've gotten an email, Gary, this crazy idea that you should do your mobile show. The first person to ever think about it. I'm like, I'm going to forward you the last 1,700 emails I got. Everybody's got the ideas. We all have the ideas. Ideas don't mean anything. I'm telling you, they do, but they don't. It's execution. Execution. Who can out-execute? And that's why I'm proud of this book. It's a big idea. It's where the world's going, but it's pretty darn practical if you want to win now. So I hope you enjoy it. I see you coming. We got to sign. I'm going to start signing to say hey, whatever. Thank you so much.